This is INFUMING, the #1 MCSR ranked player in Season 7 of MCSR Ranked. And I almost beat him in a match, so I wanted to go over the match and see what I did wrong, what I did right, and kind of analyze the whole thing. Here's a good freeze frame where, in my opinion, like, unless this is a 10 obby blacksmith and you're entering with the obsidian, you already have a route, because you have cows here, which is your food source, and you have 2 lava pools. You can pick which one you go to. I feel like it's a pretty similar line. I think I end up going to this one, but you're not going to be finding gravel in this river, or sorry, this swamp. Rivers have gravel very often, but swamps, I don't believe, generate gravel the same way rivers do. It just, like, it'll just generate the same way. Oh, wow, that looks cool. It'll just generate the same way that a gravel patch would generate underground, which is much more rare than it is in a river. You can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong about that, but, like, that has been my experience from, like, the whatever thousands of ranked matches I've played. So this is an interesting chest because you've got 3 diamonds, but you also have an iron pick. So crafting diamond pick, which I went over to INFUMING's stream immediately after this match, and he said that diamond axe isn't correct and you should make diamond pick on this seed, which I don't agree with. I don't think you should ever make diamond pick if you have an iron one, unless for some reason you just have an abundance of iron. But the thing is, on this seed, right, if you craft this diamond pickaxe, you're gonna have to mine down to make a stone axe, and who knows, like, okay, mining down introduces not just time loss, raw time loss, if it all goes perfectly, but it also introduces variance. Like, you mine down, it takes, let's say it takes 3 or 4 grass blocks to mine down, and then you mine down into diorite, or coal, or something stupid. It's just like, it's time loss even if it goes perfectly, and then if it doesn't, it's even more time loss. And like, the thing you're playing for with diamond pick is not having 20 obby from the nether. And I think it's incorrect to play for that, just because in ranked you just so often get 20 obby from your bastion route. It's just incorrect. Like, sometimes in double triple you won't get 20 obby, you'll get like 16 or 17, and then you'll be like checking chests, or you'll be debating going down for a gap route afterwards. So like, in those situations it helps a ton, but I think on average you're going to lose matches to it. I think on average you save time, but on average you also lose matches because your opponent won't play for it. So that's kind of my take, but I don't know. I could just be completely wrong about it. But here I craft shears. I'm already committed to the woodlight because I've seen what I saw before. I'm not going to be trying to get gravel on the seed. I'm just going to be going as fast as I possibly can here. I mine just as much wood as I need, maybe even more. I think 25 is a good number to enter the nether on, because if you think about it, you make 2 stick crafts for like gold picks and a bow. Once you're done with that, you have 21 wood left, and if you make those all into beds, that's going to be 7 beds, and that's kind of what you need minimum to ground 0. Of course, you can have anchors in your runs, which can reduce that number of like wood you'll need, but I think it's good to play the overworld for like consistently, because it's just good to have that end game kind of locked in from the beginning. So I run over here to this lava pool. I'm not sure if it's a misplay that I go to this lava pool, because to be honest, I just run up here because I kind of forgot where it was. I feel like running here just might end up being faster, but I do go up here and I start doing my woodlight setup. Now here we're about to get to one of my like misplays of the seed, in my opinion. It's very small, but it's like very important. You want to be finishing your woodlight setup. So here I toggle hard, right? Because you want to be on hard mode so that fire spreads quicker from the leaves. But here I'm supposed to be finishing my woodlight setup. When I leave here to go kill cows, I should be adding leaves here to my woodlight setup so it potentially lights while I'm gone. But instead I don't, which, like, it still has a chance to light. I've already done like the front half of the woodlight setup really well and quickly, but there's just a chance while I'm over here killing these cows that it doesn't light. And the other thing sorry, I'm going back to the whole diamond axe thing. The other thing is, like, diamond axe has a better cooldown than stone axe. So like, okay, you could use the iron sword plus stone axe to kill the blazes really quickly, but I think that is very hard to manage, and at least at this point in my my time playing MCSR ranked, I could not manage that and save time. I think now I have a better ability to, but it's still really hard. So Diamond Axe does save time because the cooldown of your Diamond Axe is going to be quicker than a Stone Axe, so you're going to kill blazes faster if you time the hits correctly. So anyhow, here you can't see it, but I get 8 steak from all those cows, and that's good. So here I finally finished my woodlight setup, and we're going to go to the second misplay of the seed pretty shortly. I finished the woodlight setup, right? This is like a picture perfect woodlight setup. This is what you want. And then here I decide to leave because I don't know, there's like this debate that like while you're woodlighting, you should be doing something else. Even though the only way to leave your woodlight setup is to like sort of mess it up a little bit. Like putting that leaf down there covered up an open lava spot and kind of reduced the chance of fire spread. But I saw that I only had 31 blocks, and I'm like, okay, like if you spawn in the nether on the bottom of like a ravine, or not even a ravine, if you spawn just in the bottom and there's like a bridge bastion directly above you, you're going to need like a stack of blocks just to be able to play the seed optimally. So here I'm literally just waiting, so I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go get this tree. And in the seed, it doesn't end up mattering that I waste this time, but it could in a different seed. And like that's like, how long was that? Right, like here's where I leave. 156 is when I mess up the woodlight setup and leave, and then I get back to my woodlight setup and I fix it at 213. So that's like between 15 and 20 seconds, which is a lot of time loss. Like potentially the woodlight just happens like right after I leave and I can't see it, and I lose 15 seconds to that. And 15 seconds is like kind of huge. You don't want to be losing that. So I should have just entered with what I had and just waited in the woodlight setup. But here we are in the nether. I toggle hard in portal animation, which I think is correct, while you're waiting for the bastion to load. Because you don't want to unpause if the bastion isn't loaded because you can't E-ray yet. And that's like the first step when you enter nether. So here I enter and I start E-raying. And let me try and pause on the direction. I missed it. There it is. There it is. It was just a little bit to the left there. So that's the direction, right? We can like kind of picture if my screen was full. That is the direction of the bastion. And then I decide to look behind me and see what's there. To see if I can like see a fortress or something. But this is direction of bastion. I'm pointing my crosshair straight to it. So here we have 3 decisions, or really 2. We have to go left or right. We have to pick. I think that in this scenario, this actually looks a lot more promising than this. And we look at my Y level, it's 80. So maybe that changes it a little bit. If you go up this hill, you're going to be at Y90. Terrain's, like, of course, less likely at Y90, but there's a nice path up there. If you go to the right, there might be terrain around to the bastion. So here, I decided to go around, and there's like another kind of unintended consequence to this decision, which is that like it's kind of harder to navigate this. Rather than going up, this you have like this weird wall to run on. Sorry, the quality is horrible. I don't know why, but you have to like wall run this, and I mess up the movement and I fall down like 4 blocks. And I'm not worried about the damage. I'm worried about the mechanical time loss of falling down. I just lost a lot of time to that. And guess what? Right here, we run into a corner. So I decide to stack up anyway to check this terrain. And then I get to the top, and I realize there's no terrain. So I boat down, and I realize the bastion's just here. Like, I have to go this way. There's like literally no path. So I start to dig through the wall. I remember watching replay, and INFUMING did the like almost picture like exact same thing. We did the exact same thing here. And so I'm digging through a wall, kind of looking at C counter, because once this spikes, you know you're about to hit air, because of just like, this is what the C counter does. It like finds open air face blocks, and there, boom, it spikes. So we're gonna be hitting air soon. Just a little more digging, surely, just a little more. We'll get there. Maybe. Now here, maybe I could have dug a little bit to the right more. I think INFUMING did. INFUMING had like a better path, because if you like keep digging to the right, you end up hitting terrain faster. It's like something that you can't really predict when you're gonna hit terrain, because terrain is just random. C counter just spikes when you're in the chunk that also has air blocks exposed, and you don't know like where in the chunk it is. You just know that it's there. So anyhow, I get those were the days. That's what Gode Gamle Dagger means, and he gets it right after. We are like neck and neck at this point. So I'm thinking, all right, I just gotta route this perfectly. And wait, is that the fort? I don't think that's the fort. Hold on. I don't think this is the fortress. But it could be. I mean, there's like, I don't know. It's not like the quality is bad or anything. I think my render distance is just low and like the fog is just bad here. So anyhow, we're doing our treasure route, and there's no fort spotted yet, nothing yet. So I do safe boomer, which is a good route. It takes me a bit longer just because of some things. Actually, let's look at that. I think there's a way, instead of mining this block, you like place blocks here, and it also paths the piglins correctly. But I'm not entirely sure how that works, and I've never done it before. I feel like I could be doing this route better with like more optimal block placements, because there I throw one, there I break that, but the gold's here, and this is like, oh my god, what is with this? This is where I need to be mining, like right behind the piglin, so I have to throw another gold, wait for the piglin to move, throw another gold. So like this route is really bad, like just the way, the micro of how I do it. Like obviously I do the correct route here. Safe boomer, I think in like, on average, is just the best route. Infume gets this before me, meaning we are now like, literally at the same point in the run. He might even be going a little bit faster than me. There, I make my second mistake of crafting all this gold. I've already thrown gold into this pit. Crafting this and throwing it in doesn't help anything. I should just start mining these. You kind of want to reduce the amount of times you craft gold blocks into gold. Like, you don't want the pigs to not be trading, but you also want to minimize how many times you craft gold into gold ingots. And so I do it again here, which I think is bad. Now, I think this is the correct way to mine out the blocks. You kind of want to look down, check and see if that one's there, mine the one above you. Now I'm going to the other side, and this top part is buried, so I can't see anything. I think I'm kind of looking at quadrants here, and if you look, we're in positive. This is the quadrant of the bastion. So if you look at your F3 crosshair, you're going to know that the fortress has to be like within this kind of like this side of the screen. It has to be this way, like it has to be -Z, or it has to be -X. So I should be looking not for the fortress out this way. I'm not gonna see it here because that's just more of this quadrant. If you don't know, like structures can only spawn, like one structure can only spawn per quadrant, and quadrants basically just are based on where 0, 0 is. Like, it's a little bit more complicated than that, and there's like an image for it. God, I'm too lazy to pull up, but that is how quadrants work. So I know where the fortress is supposed to be now, and I'm kind of interested because I forgot how this match goes, like when I'm going to check for it and what I do here. Otherwise, I feel like I've nearly played flawlessly this entire time, other than the small micro things I've mentioned. Like, we've just been playing almost the same. Now look, we both pick up Crying Obby and Obby at the same time. Actually, he doesn't pick up Obby there. It's just like random pig RNG. But again, we're just neck and neck. And I go ahead and wide here. Yes, what I saw before is the fort. I don't know if you saw it. Can I like go back frame by frame? I can't go back frame by frame. Oh, there it is. Boom. There's the fort. So I know exactly what direction I'm going. And as soon as I finish my bastion route, I'm ready to go. 7 Obby. Keep that in mind. We're at 7 Obby. Here, I'm just gonna spoil it. This is a seed where the play of Diamond Pick would have paid off very, very much. Because in these chests, there's not enough to get 20 Obby. But anyhow, I finish out the bastion route, and let's see what these trades look like. Okay, we've got a stack of string, which needs to be split. There's probably more string there in the trades. We have good soul sand, more than a stack. We've got fire charges, good. We've got 15 Obby. 15 Obby and like 20 gold left to trade. And then miscellaneous junk, we've got my food. So I'm kind of curious to see how I clear my inventory here, because there's a lot of junk to clear. Do I do a good job of it? I feel like this is so far pretty unoptimal. I split pearls, which is good. And then here I debate hanging a pearl. Will I actually do it though? And this is back in the old days where I used to do like different hotbar management. Like, I forgot how long ago this was. It's like not even that long ago, but it's long ago enough. So here I'm just waiting for more obby to see if these last trades hit. And they don't. So I go up, grab that last pearl trade, and I pearl down. I realize that I just have enough food to be perfectly fine here. I'm curious how I play this. So there is a way to tell like where the chests are in the bottom here. Which I don't know, is that what I check for first? I think it is. So there's like these indicators here. There's gonna be a chest here, but there's also a chest here. So this is like an indented like lantern pattern if you look at the screen from before, which shows that there is a chest there, and that chest has a chance to give you obby. So here I pivot to just mining gold because there's no obby chest that I can see. And I think this is correct. I think it might be correct just to do every single time on average. Like you can save a lot by getting an obby chest at bottom. But whatever, that's just the play I make here, and it's funny that I get an endermite right there. And now we're just waiting for trades. We're going to hit the obby. Like with 4 gold, you're just basically guaranteed 2 obby. And so I run back in and I have 20 obby and I'm out. So let's see when I enter fortress and when Infum enters fortress. Also, let's look at that pearl. Let's look at this pearl. Is this a good pearl? No, absolutely not. This is a blind pearl. I don't know where this is landing. You never want to not know where your pearl is landing. Either like I should have done like either a better job of looking this direction, or I should have just thrown it to the top here, the top corner, and then I have a really good spot to throw my second pearl from. I didn't see what pearls Infum threw in this match. I'm imagining they were good though. So anyhow, now I'm down here, and like the fortress legs are down here, but I don't want to pearl onto lava, so I immediately decide to pearl upwards, and where do I land? Like perfectly on top of it. So like it was a good recovery from the misplay of a bad pearl, but it definitely could have been faster. I could have been here so much sooner. So I eat because I'm really low, and I also try to spawn in some strays as I change my pie chart, and I don't get any strays, so I immediately send a pearl further into the fort, and spawner right there. This is really aggressive, and potentially, like, I think this is just incorrect, pearling here, because you don't know what's behind this wall. There could be a skeleton here, and then, like, as soon as you land, you're just dead. Because remember, this does 2.5 hearts, so I'm gonna land on 1 heart. I pearled so that I'm not too close to the spawner, so, like, a blaze won't kill me. But, like, you don't know what's here in these little boxes. But at the time, you know, I'm playing the #1 ranked player, and I'm thinking, I need to go, like, as fast as possible, because I'm not the #1 ranked player. So I need to make moves here. And so I do this pearl. Obviously, it ends up being okay. And I'm also, like, regenning really fast because I ate right afterwards. And I just have so much food. Like, objectively, just with food count, it's correct. Because, like, assuming there's nothing dangerous, like, sitting there in the fort, it's just correct. But it's for those unexpected times where a wither skeleton drops down from the ceiling and one taps you, that you don't want to do that. So anyhow, here I'm like trying to overlap crafts as I am here killing the blazes with the diamond axe, and I think I do a pretty good job of that. But just straight into a blaze bed. Now here's like the other misplay. This isn't actually where it happened. It happened back here in the fort, or sorry, in the bastion. So if we go way back here to when I do my crafts, right here, look at how much string I have. I have plenty. I should be making 2 blaze beds so I can do a better blaze bed setup. I don't remember if at the time of recording this, if I actually knew about the setup, but I definitely should have crafted 2 beds, because then when you get to the fortress, and you're here, you can do a better setup that clears more blocks, and like the fire is easier to clear because they're like, okay, watch this. Boom, boom. Okay, look at like this block here. If I want to clear these fire, like, I have to angle my mouse, like, a bit more precisely to get those 2, and then this one. Like, but there's this really nice path if this block isn't here. And then there's, like, more blocks. Like, these ones would be cleared by a double blaze bed. And, like, it actually, this blaze bed does a surprisingly good job of, like, clearing as many blocks as it can with 1 bed. But 2 is just gonna be way better. So now here's another little section where having, actually I feel like I play this wrong. Like, what you should do when you're clearing out a spawner, like maybe in this case, it's fine because there's so much fortress surrounding me, but I feel like you should be clearing out these sides, like putting soul sand on the sides before you clear out the blocks. Because like right here, if a blaze hit me there, like not only was I standing in a spawning space, but if a blaze hit me there, I would have been knocked off, and like that loses time. Like even it wouldn't have been run ending, but it would have lost time. So there I placed those blocks. But I could have had all these blocks already placed, and I could have been standing in a better spot while mining these. So I think the spawner is like played slightly incorrectly. And then I stand here. I'm still like, I think I'm still in a spawning space. Like you can see I'm kind of on the corner of this block here. So like right here might actually be a blaze spawning position. So I think I did that incorrectly as well. But anyhow, I'm doing more inventory clearing. My inventory is already pretty clean at this point. Trying to like overlap, killing the blazes and eating as well. INFUMING gets a rod. So like, again, we're just neck and neck. Like, and so here I craft up everything I need, and I go ahead and do a final clear of my inventory. And then, honestly, I think it's correct to craft anchors first, because you're never going to need more than 9 beds, 9 explosives, I mean, in every single scenario. If you go for, let's say you go for a 0, and you have 9 explosives, you should be setting up with Crying Obby for the setup. Not anchors, because anchors are explosives, and if you need them for ground 0, you don't want them to be stuck at the top of your 0 setup. Now let's say the dragonflies, right? You do your first bed or your first 2 beds if you're doing a double bed, and the dragonflies. Now, if you've done 1 bed, the dragon's gonna be like 1/5 of its health down. If you do 2 beds, it's gonna be like half of its health down. So you're not going to need any more than 7 beds after that to do a ground 0. Like you can already do a 7-bed ground 0 when the dragon's at full health. But if it's already down enough health, you don't need to be crafting extra explosives. So here I craft 10 explosives, and the problem with crafting more explosives is you need to do more inventory clearing to be able to do that. So like if I had crafted anchors first, realized I had 3 anchors, I could have crafted less beds. I could have crafted 6 beds instead of 7. Then I would have had a clear inventory spot to do my like iron bars immediately after this, and then I would be blinding. And it's just so much faster. Now I mess up the typing a bit in my search crafting, and like this is fast. This is still really fast, but it's just incorrect. And the way I craft my eyes is also slightly incorrect. There's like a better way to do it. Then again, like those are just small micro things. I think the main misplay is just crafting too many explosives. Okay, there, INFUMING blinds. So I'm a little bit ahead at this point, unless he like killed the like 3rd blaze cycle before blinding. But I think I'm just ahead at this point. I think I just did my pre-crafts faster, and I'm ready to go. Boom, eye breaks. So in the back of my mind, do I play for a 1-eye? I think I've already decided not to do that because I'm like pace matching, and I don't think INFUMING would play for a 1-eye. So I think it just worsens my chances. But look at how many blazes there are. There's like 2 spawn cycles right here. So I kill these. What are we at? 3 rods. And is this going to be the 4th? Boom, 4th rod. Now, I feel like I could have pearl hung here. I throw a really short pearl there. I don't know if this is correct. So when I come back in, I'm already facing the direction. I should have thrown a pearl there. I hesitated and didn't. And I just should have. I just should have thrown a pearl. I lose time just going back to this spawner, killing all the blazes, and then... Wait. And then here, like, I could have just hung the pearl immediately. Boom, it's landed. So I lose, like, a solid 1 to 2 seconds there, or 3. Just to hesitation, being nervous about, I don't know, where the pearl's landing. And then here we get really close to cords. Do I play this post blind well? I like, this is perfect. I'm sorry, this is perfect. I played this post blind like a freaking demon, man. Then obviously this portal could have been like slightly better, but you don't want to misplace. You have 10 obby, iron pick. Like there is no save if you misplace. Like you've just officially lost. And then who's in the stronghold first? Me. Oh wait, but this isn't the stronghold because we hit a cave. So now I have to copy my location to clipboard, try and find the stronghold. I don't even know if INFUMING hit the stronghold, but I have 2 stakes, so I can throw a pearl to do the crawl mine, and I get I Spy, and then he gets I Spy. So we are literally on the same pace together. So I do a bit of preemptive, and I get like a spike there. Boom. Okay, we're going this way, and it should just be that way. Oh wait. Okay. this isn't a pathway. So like the most likely pathway to have portal room isn't there. I make a quick decision not to go down those stairs because it feels like the wrong direction, and I go this way, and it's correct because this is the portal room. And I do a second check here just to kind of see the angle. Like if I didn't get it here, I would have checked more this way and then ran that way, but I get it here, so I run this way. Nope, this isn't the pathway, so I keep running this way, and then boom, we're here. I up my render, I craft all my rods. Again, something I could have done during a pearl, so there's like a misplay there. I should have been crafting my eyes earlier. And then another misplay, I don't offhand eyes here and fill in eyes. I can fill in eyes really fast in the portal, like faster than Infum, but instead I do this with like the food in my offhand and do a slow eye fill, and he's in the end. So like if I wouldn't have done that, there's like I just have a better chance of winning. Now I see this that like as I'm entering end, he's entering end, so I'm like, shoot, he's like a little bit ahead of me. I know that Infum is gonna 3+2. He is going to hit that 0 cycle, so I'm like, all right, I need to do something. Like this 0, it's buried. I have to push a height he's not gonna push, you know. So I go ahead and throw my pearl, organize my hotbar, and then boom, it's back 1-8. And I'm thinking, okay, I just gotta throw a high pearl and I gotta like whip out the craziest speed bridge of my life. So I'm here, 91. I have a decision to make. Do I go to Y97 or do I go to Y93? And I choose to go Y97. So I'm whipping out this crazy speed bridge. I'm going as fast as I possibly can. And then I do my final stack. And this is the rotation that I'm supposed to explode the bed on. And I've already lost. And if you look in advancements, shoots the dragon and gets free the end. So I lost. But it was a really close match, and I thought that was a pretty good analysis, and I hope you enjoyed, and I'll do more of these.